Hey, Julia Barzyk here from Wise Investigator. So today I am here with mindset shift number 3 for new assistant professors who want to have success with their research, especially as related to research funding. So we're going to call this shift moving from reactive mode to strategic thinking. And how are we going to be able to do that? Okay, well, the first one is to map out your plans for funding for the next 2 to 3 years. So, even though some opportunities you may not be ready to apply for this year, like for example, the NSF career, you want to be thinking, what do I need to be doing now so that when I am ready to apply for that, I truly am ready. When I feel ready, I actually have the pieces in place to make me ready. In some cases, that could be submitting a proposal in this first year that you feel is a little ambitious or you don't have a real good idea of how that might turn out, but going ahead and doing that so you could get some feedback, you could see how that goes, and then you could be in an even stronger position if you do a resubmission, say, in the next year. Okay, so beyond thinking more than the next 6 months or the next year, we want to go into tracking deadlines and time management. So it's easy to just think about what do I need to do in the next few months, but we want to make sure that we're thinking much further ahead, even if we don't have those exact deadlines, and figuring out what kind of time management tools and approaches are going to work for you, because that's different for everyone, so that you can meet the deadlines. Because being in a reactive mode, especially in response to deadlines, and I'm going to be honest, we all find ourselves there sometimes, and it's not realistic to think that you're ever going to move 100% out of that, but you can make strides and you can do much better to get as much of the work done in a organized and not majorly rushed or under pressure way so that you can have better success in getting your materials to the good condition that they need to be in, incorporating that last minute feedback, and again, moving out of that really reactive mode. Okay, so also think about tools that you want to use for that, whether you use certain calendar tools or even a spreadsheet or a project management software, whatever works for you, think about implementing some kind of tools because there are tools out there that can help you with your deadlines and time management. All right, so the next one here is going to be to submit early and submit often. So this kind of goes back to the first one I was talking about where we want to think 2 or 3 years ahead. If you have something on the horizon, you're thinking that's for year 2, that's for year 3, is there something you could submit now to get you prepared to have that success in year 2 or 3? And a big one that I see here as a problem is getting that submission in, and that can feel really good to get that in and feel that sense of accomplishment and be able to take a breather and catch up on the other stuff that you set aside while you were getting that proposal prepared. But once you have a week or so to recover from that submission, really want to be thinking about that next submission. Don't wait until you have a decision on that. And then if it's not good news, or if it's good news, then think, oh, what am I going to be applying for next? As soon as you get one proposal in, be thinking about the next submission. And it doesn't mean you have to be constantly submitting proposals, but you at least want to be thinking about them and then making an informed decision. Should I submit this? And if the answer is yes, then go ahead and do that. All right, so the last one here to get you from a reactive to a more strategic thinking mode is to do as much pre-work or putting the pieces together that you can ahead of time so that when you do get into preparing the project description, the project narrative, you have as much done ahead of time as possible. So some of this will happen on its own just as you make submissions. You're going to have to write the data management plan. You're going to have to write your facilities. You're going to have a bio sketch in possibly a couple different formats. And the better that you can do with developing these documents as high quality documents from the start, from the very first draft you have, and then keeping them updated, keeping them easily accessible in your files so that when you make each new submission, you're going to be able to draw on the work that you've already done, convert that easily into what you need for the current submission. So overall, there's a lot of opportunities here for you to go from that reactive mode into more of a strategic planning approach. And this is going to help you greatly in your research and especially as related to research funding.